do 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 ba 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 la 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 la. Hey, hey, all you hip chicks and hip cats. Anine Bonjour, Catherine M. Thompson, Indigenous, St. Thomas, Ontario, in Nunjaba, Megwa, Burlington, and Nunda, Indikanua Mage Iko, Anishinaabe Moan, Nungo. My name is Catherine M. I'll tell you later. We acknowledge that Cats Meow, and Cats Cupboard for that matter, sits on the treaty territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, as well as the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Nation, Haudenosaunee and Wendat Confederacies, and the lands of many other Indigenous people who passed through or called and still call this land their home. This territory is part of the Dish with One Spoon Treaty, an agreement between the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. In making this statement, I acknowledge and honor the truth of the agreements that were broken and the lives that were taken and the wisdom of ancestors whose spirits live on in the soil, animals, and vegetation. In stepping on this land, we seek both permission and forgiveness from these ancestors with the agreement that we have the responsibility to honor and to respect all who are here now and all who have yet to come, recognizing that in many ways these lands remain restricted from teachings, resources, and development in partnership with Indigenous peoples. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to live, to receive gifts from, to work on, and to benefit from the land. And I believe I mentioned last week that the two-line, I think it's called the two-line wampum, was, that was the agreement from the Indigenous point of view, at any rate, that the settlers and the Indigenous people would peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. And that has remained true for the Indigenous people for all these many years. However, they were greatly taken advantage of and not shared with in a number of cases. I'm Catherine M. Thompson, singer-songwriter and poet. I come from St. Thomas. I live in Burlington now, and I am learning the Ojibwe language now. At least I started, and then things intervened, and I never got past the very beginning. There's a wonderful Indigenous woman who is teaching her tiny little girl Anishinaabe Moan, and which is the Indigenous Ojibwe language. And so they do this little Instagram every day, and she says, we're going to, today it was windy, something like that, the word for windy. And so the little girl, she says it, and then the little girl repeats it, and that's it. And it's just a wonderful little reminder of the fact that this is the beginning of the decade of Indigenous languages. And the course I took was from the Fort Erie Native Friendship Center, and it was just a wonderful experience, as much as I was able to do of it. So if you are watching, and if you can sign in to YouTube, please do so, and give me some sort of signal, thumbs up, or a comment, a hello on the, but if you don't have a login, you should still be able to watch this, and I will post the links to it. Actually, the same link that would bring you to the live will also bring you to the video, which will be on my YouTube channel. So today is Monday, June the 27th. I wasn't sure I'd be home on time, but in fact, we got here around 1 p.m. But it's a very simple program today. These are all songs, mine, and some covers for Pride and Summer and Roses. And I'm going to start with Swing Daddy, and then I'm going to let that one go for a while and get on with some of my other songs in the months to come. As many of you know, oh, there is Marianne. Hello, hello. The Swing Daddy is the story of my dad's journey and eventually my family's journey. So here is Swing Daddy. I just have to get her started here. Come on.
Swing Daddy, swing, swing Daddy, swing Daddy, swing.
Daddy was a bassman in a swing band in those dirty 30s, dark depression days. They played dance halls in Hamilton, Muskoka dance pavilions. He played that up right at the old Palais.
Swing Daddy, swing.
His bass rode high up on the band car rooftop. And late one night the wind was blowing fierce. It threw his case into the ditch, smashed that fiddle all to bits, and Daddy waved goodbye to his career.
Swing Daddy, swing.
The 30s taught Daddy's law. Make good with what you got. You can do what you have to do to see it through. If you swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Thump that rhythm, dance all night and day. Swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Play that bass and chase those blues away. So Dad picked up the bread truck, delivered to a store that Mama ran. She'd been out dancing with her pals, heard him swing those big dance halls of that a book of matches, and love began. Then Daddy drove the railway locomotives all up and down the New York Central line, while Mama cooked and Mama sewed. They built up a loving home, a half a dozen children strong and fine. The 30s taught Daddy's law. Make good with what you got. You can do what you have to do to see it through. If you swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Thump that rhythm, dance all night and day. Swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Play that bass and chase those blues away. Well, in the end, he was a labor leader. When he was 62 at a railroad union due, they let him sit in for a set. Daddy hadn't lost it yet. He played that bass the way he used to do. That's nothing funny, you know, sitting in for Daddy. Well, now you've heard the story of my family, and every single word of it is true. Daddy was a bass man, playing in a swing band, and Daddy, we're so glad Mama swung with you. Hey, 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 swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Mama, swing. Thump that rhythm, dance all night and day. Swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Mama, swing. Play that bass and chase those blues away. Play that bass, chase those blues. Play that bass and chase those blues away. Swing, Daddy, swing, swing, Daddy. Swing, Daddy, swing, swing, Daddy. Swing, Daddy, swing, swing, Daddy, swing. Swing, Daddy, swing. Wow, it's so much fun to sing, but I am going to leave it alone for a few weeks. And do some of my other songs. And Marianne, it's lovely to see you. And I will just see where we're at in my script here before I go on. I did want to mention that last Tuesday, which was the solstice changeover to the 21st, was National Indigenous Peoples Day here in Canada. So there's lots of videos of various Indigenous celebrations online. And summer rolled in. That's June the 21st, traditional beginning of summer, and it has already been very, very hot here. In fact, we're getting a break today. It's only going to go up to about 27 degrees Celsius, but it was over 30 a number of days, like much hotter than normally across the month, I believe. And when it gets hot, thanks, Marianne. I always think of this Loving Spoonful song. I sang some of these songs last June, June or July. And these are the kind of songs, come into your brain when you're just bopping around, doing nothing much except, well, as JD often says, told our granddaughter once, Grandma's head is always full of songs. And, I used to play a game with the kids when we were traveling. There's all kinds of games you can play with letters and license plates and stuff. But I used to say, give me a noun, any noun. And one of them would give me a noun, and then I would think up the lyric from across the ages that word was used in. And they only stumped me a few times. They stumped me once with coat hanger. And the closest I could come was, take your coat, don't forget your hat. But there's no coat hanger in that song. Anyway, this is Summer in the City by the Loving Spoonful, and I just have to check to see if it's on 2 pages, and it is. So I'm gonna release it from its paperclip. Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirty and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around me, people looking half dead, walking down the sidewalk, hotter than a match head. But at night, it's a different world. Go on out and find a girl. Come on, and dance all night. Come on, it'll be all right. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Cool town, evening in the city, dressing so fine and looking so pretty. Cool cat looking for a kitty, gonna look in every corner of the city till I'm wheezing like a bus stop, running up the stairs, gonna meet you on the rooftop. But at night it's a different world. Go on out and find a girl. Come on, gonna dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be all right. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in a city. All around, people looking half dead, walking down the sidewalk, hotter than a match head. But at night, it's a different world. Go on out and find a girl. Come on, and dance all night. Come on, it'll be all right. And babe, don't you know it's a pity that the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Isn't that a fun song? That was written by Mark Sebastian, Steve Boone, and John Sebastian. And it was the Loving Spoonful that made that song a hit. And I don't know what year that was, but I'm telling you, it was like back there, like, in the early 70s or something like that. So, yeah, it was a great game, It worked, well, it was a great game for me because now I stumble over words. Even I made 2 mistakes with my words in Swing Daddy, but I just had a file system in my brain, and I could remember lyrics like crazy of songs that I'd heard, and so that was great. So you have to have somebody in the car who has some idea about song lyrics, or else it won't work. Unless I suppose nowadays with Google, if kids had some kind of if they were old enough to have an iPad or an iPhone or something, they could be the first one who finds the lyric, wins or whatever, gets to pick the next one. Summer in the City. As I mentioned before, this is still on YouTube. I have many long appointments fill my week. And after this is over, the video will be on my YouTube channel, Catherine M. Thompson Cat's Cupboard. It looks like this. And yeah, that's still when I had glasses. I mean, if I ever get to the point where it's safe enough for me to go into a studio, I will get I'll get new headshots done. But this, as I mentioned, the link will get you there. And so, Marianne, I have to say that the mugs are ready. The store, I've got the store. I've got a Shopify store. My next step is to hopefully I'll be able to put the link in the Shopify store in my website so that people will be able to buy the mugs there. But it also means, I think, I should be able to just post the link to it in various places. And the mug, I'll show you guys this was Marianne's brilliant idea because I was like, what should I do for merch? What should I do for merch? So the first one, and this is designed by Megan Thompson. She's my daughter. She also did the design for the cover art for She's a Wildcat, which I did I wrote with Michelle Gold, and we sing it together. So that's the Swing Daddy mug, and there'll be 11 and 15 ounce mugs to choose from. And there's the, this is a wrap, a full wrap on the cup, taken from the photo of the band that my dad was in, with him playing in the background. So I just love them. And she's doing the cover art for me for Put Down the Guns, which Chris suggested we release as a single, like 6 weeks ago. It just takes me a long time to do stuff, but yeah, they're going to be great. And Marianne has ordered them, and she's going to be the first to get them. I'm just going to, I think, I'm either going to order them. I'll probably order them and get them sent to you from the site. It'll be faster than getting them for me and then sending them on to you. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited. So she's working on the artwork for Put Down the Guns, but there's a bit of confusion, and the first thing she sent me was like a wrap for a mug. So I said, no, don't keep that, but and also slice this bit out for the cover art for the single. So we'll have that one as well, and I don't have it ready to show you. She hasn't sent me the final version yet. So yeah, and oh yes, I thought I would sing another favorite summer song, which was written by Roger Miller, and then also sung by Andy Williams. And Roger Miller was a really quirky guy. He wrote really strange songs. I think he wrote the song about something about the trains and the, peeling paint on the ceiling of the room. And thanks, Marianne. Yeah, she's like, no rush. I'm like, God, you're amazing. Anyway, there's another famous song that he wrote, but this one is called You Don't Want My Love. So it's a little bit bluer, but it's also very quirky, so it's sort of fun. I didn't get a chance to get my really strong honey tea. So, yeah, this is cold tea, but I'll just put it on here. In the summertime, when all the trees and leaves are green and the redbird sings, I'll be blue, 'cause you don't want my love some other time. That's what you say when I want you. Then you laugh at me and make me cry, 'cause you don't want my love. You don't seem to care a thing about me. I'd rather do without me than to have my arms around you when the nights are cold and you're so all alone, all alone. In the summertime, when all the trees and leaves are green and a redbird sings, I'll be blue, 'cause you don't want my love Once upon a time you used to smile and wave to me and walk with me, but now you don't, 'cause you don't want my love. Some other guy is taking up all your time. So now you don't have no time for me, 'cause you don't want my love. You don't seem to care a thing about me. You'd rather live without me than to have my arms around you when the nights are cold and you're so all alone, all alone. In the summertime when all the trees and leaves are green and the redbird sings, I'll be blue, 'cause you don't want my love. In the summertime when all the trees and leaves are green and the redbird sings, I'll be blue, 'cause you don't want my love. I just love that song. I don't know why. It's Roger Miller. A shot of whiskey is for pride. I had a really interesting thing happen. I submitted a shot of whiskey, for one of these searches for a, I don't know. There's various companies like Taxi and some other places that put out calls. Reverb Nation does as well for, submit a song for a certain music director is looking for a certain type of song. So I think they were looking for a song that was a really good dance song. So immediately I thought of a shot of whiskey. Helen in London, England used to say, "Oh, it makes me get up and dance around the kitchen." So that's the kind of song that a shot of whiskey is. And so it came back, and of course it said, well, the reason we're not taking it is because you're mentioning a brand of whiskey. Of course it does, Jack Daniels. And also, you name specific people. Now, the reason I did that is, at the time I just did it without thinking, but, it's about people having fun. And this is Pride Week. The big Pride Parade was just yesterday in Toronto, and people come from all across the country to that. And of course, they haven't been able to do it for 2 years, so it happened this Sunday. And of course, you've got the lines. Susie is dancing with Sammy. Now, Sammy could be a guy, or Sammy could be a Samantha, right? And then Davy is dancing with Dan. I'm pretty sure that's 2 guys, right? And then I say, and I'm on the loose with nothing to lose. I'm going to get me a man. So you've got, lots of gender identity and just love, of all kinds mentioned in that line. And so they were like, oh, you can't, don't use names. And of course, it makes perfect sense to me, because if it's going to be for a movie, unless there was a scene that was actually about Jack, had Jack Daniels in the scene, a good product placement, then it wouldn't work. But the thing about the names, I don't know. I'm thinking if it was done with the band on stage and pointing to people and that, that's a bit picky. But we see what's happening down in the States, and I have a horrible feeling that there won't be much time that passes before they start restricting a lot of other things. And, I said at the time, I read it years ago, that because at the time there was the Christian right wing was very strong in the States, and then it kind of sunk beneath the surface. But when I read Handmaid's Tale, I was sort of like, well, this is sort of science fiction fantasy in a way, but I didn't see it as that. I saw it as a prophecy. And the horrible thing is that I think that that prophecy may be coming true. At any rate, that's enough about the States. I'm just going to... I'm having a few allergies today, so I'm sneezing. So a shot of whiskey for pride. Oh, wait a minute. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. My friends are with me and we're feeling alright. The band is pumping out our favorite songs. The joint is jumping as we sing along. Another round, I won't put up a fight. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Monday to Friday, it's a daily grind. Go to church on Sunday when we rest and pray. There goes the weekend, but for Saturday, hey, the only time we can do it upright. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Whiskey on a Saturday night. My friends are with me and we're feeling alright. The band is pumping. I think I gotta screw this up. A shot of whiskey. Oh, darn. Sorry, guys. Screwed it up too much. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. My friends are with me and we're feeling alright. The band is pumping out our favorite songs. The joint is jumping as we sing along. The only time a shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Monday to Friday, it's a daily grind. Go to church on Sunday when we rest and pray. There goes the weekend, but for Saturday, hey, the only time we can do it upright. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Susie is dancing with Sammy. Davy is dancing with Dan. I'm on the loose with nothing to lose. I'm gonna get me a man. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. My friends are with me and we're feeling alright. The band is pumping out our favorite songs. The joint is jumping as we sing along. Another round, I won't put up a fight. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. A bartender, I'd love a whiskey. Hello, Jack. A sipping whiskey, I don't knock it back. A perfect Jack Daniels Manhattan straight up. Now that's what I call a loving cup. A chaser for beer, or is you're the chaser? A boiler maker? I'll bring that bottle over here and pour me a whiskey, a double whiskey, a shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Pour me a whiskey, a double whiskey, a shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Another round, I won't put up the fight. A shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. Susie is dancing with Sammy. Davy is dancing with Dan. I'm on the loose with nothing to lose. I'm gonna get me a man. Oh, go Chris, go Shari. Pour me a whiskey, a double whiskey, a shot of whiskey on a Saturday night. God, I'm skipping words today. This is crazy. But that's what happens sometimes. So, I just need to check here. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sniffly today. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing here. So here, you know, you guys have seen this over and over again. I do get the letters out to the list, and I've got a few more people on the list, so it's great. And many thanks to those who have signed the list. The email, join the email list. But if you were not on it, please go to my website, and it's https://CatherineMThompson.com. That's my website, and it's on Bandzoogle, and you can join my website. And, share the Earl. Cat's Meow is usually on Monday, but next week it's on Wednesday, July 6th. Weirdly, I was not able to change. If you look at the events list, it doesn't have a link with it, and all the links. What happens is, I put the link in for today. All the other Monday lives have that link, but the Wednesday, July 6th, does not have the link. It doesn't matter; it's not the right link anyway. But I will definitely put it in once I get it. And you can buy my CDs in the store. And like I said, there will be a link to buy the mugs there very soon. And suggested by Marianne, my friend Marianne, and also designed by Megan Thompson. And my intention is to, and I hope this works, to be able to put a purchase link, which will take you to Shopify, and you'll be able to buy them there. And then they'll tell Printful, and it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, it's much, much better than me having to buy a whole bunch of them. And I also found out something really, I just couldn't believe it, because last fall I was able to send CDs to the States with just a stamp on them. I would, buy a stamp and put them on because they were the size, they're the size of a little card. Not anymore. I can do that within Canada, but internationally, I have to pay the postage to wherever it's going, to Rochester, New York, or to Seattle, or to Washington State, or to England. I have to pay the postage on it. I found that out because a friend of mine in the States has just published a book, and I'm trading him my CDs for the book. So I was sending the 3 CDs. And when she told me how much it was going to be, I was like, "What?" And I said, "It doesn't. It fits the window slot, or the letter slot." She said, "No, it's unless it's got just paper in it, you have to pay the small parcel postage." So it was a bit of a kick in the head, I have to say. But what will happen is that the Shopify and Printful, I guess would be Printful, will make that calculation, and that will be what comes up when you go to pay for it. I hope that's what's happening. I was hoping they would just mail them without charging, but no. So, I've done the mug designs, and I'll post the store link as soon as I have it figured out. So I'm going to end today with another song, and it is a cover, and it has a story. When I was 17, yes, I believe I was 17. I might have been even younger. I might have been 16, but I think I was 17. And that spring, well, when I was 17, I did the exhibition show, so I don't know when those auditions were. So this might have been prior to that audition. But my mom drove me to Toronto, and I went to audition for a summer stock company that was going to be touring the show Gypsy. And so I did the dance audition, and at the end of it, the woman who was running the audition said, "I would love to be able to take you with me, but because you're not 18 yet, I can't." And in fact, maybe I was, I wasn't 18. I know I wasn't 18. So anyway, she said, "You have to be 18 or older in order to come with us because of the nature of the show, because of course it's about strippers." And so I said to her, "Well, okay, but can I audition a song for you? Because I've been listening, I've been waiting for her." She asked me to wait, I've been waiting for her. And I've been listening to Everything's Coming Up Roses being sung by people who are auditioning. And so I went in and I sang Everything's Coming Up Roses. Now you have to understand that I was not a musician. I sang in the school choirs, but I didn't read music. I did it all by ear. And anyway, but I just, I don't know, I was cocky, I guess. So I sang Everything's Coming Up Roses. Ethel Merman made it famous on Broadway. I've been racking my brains trying to remember the name of the actress who played Mama Rose in the movie musical. I can't think of it, but. So anyway, I sang Everything's Coming Up Roses, and she was just like, okay, here's the thing. She said, you're still very young. You have to be careful with your voice. Don't, if you're going to take lessons, take, conservatory lessons, because you don't want to belt and ruin your voice, and your voice is going to mature until you're in your 20s. So I was like, well, I don't sing anyway, so big whoop. And of course, I didn't start singing until many years later when I started writing my songs. So this is Everything's Coming Up Roses a cappella. If you want to PayPal me tips or make any kind of donation, you can paypal.me/Catherine M. Thompson. If you want to do an e-transfer instead, contact me, info@catherinemthompson.com, and I will I'll let you know how to do that. And so this is it for today's live. We're just going to end with Everything's Coming Up Roses a cappella again. And I'm hoping that in the next few weeks things will settle down a little bit. I'll get more time to plan and rehearse, and but this is fun, and it's really good for me every week. Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy, and I don't unfortunately have the writers. I had a dream about you, baby. It's gonna come true, baby. They think that we're through, but baby, you'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here, starting now, honey. Everything's coming up roses. Now's your inning. Stand the world on its ear. Set it spinning. That'll be just the beginning. Curtain up. Light the lights, you've got nothing to hit but the heights. You'll be swell, you'll be great. I can tell, just you wait. That lucky star I talk about is due. Honey, everything's coming up roses for me and for you. You can do it. All you need is a hand. We can do it. Mama is gonna see to it. Curtain up. Light the lights. We've got nothing to hit but the heights. I can tell. Wait and see. There's the bell. Follow me. And nothing's gonna stop us till we're through. Honey, everything's coming up roses and daffodils. Everything's coming up sunshine and Santa Claus. Everything's coming up bright lights and lollipops. Everything's coming up roses for me and for you. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for being here, Marianne. And anyone else who watches later, see you later. Bama P.